Welcome to the Cosmic Business Forecast of April. It has been a bit of a journey to actually sit down and record this. There were a lot of unexpected things happening in my family, lots of kids getting the flu, and we also had our youngest one stepping into glass, kept watching it very carefully, and then it got infected, so that happened on top of that as well. You hear kids in the background, so you know what's going on. April is such a beautiful month, and I wanted to share with you what is going on. So in short, we start the month off with a new moon in Aries. Then we have the full moon in Libra, and we close the month off with I just had to think for a moment, a solar eclipse in Taurus. And this is the very first eclipse that we have on the Taurus-Scorpio axis. Now remember, last November, we had a solar eclipse in Taurus, but the node wasn't in Taurus yet. It was still in Gemini because the nodes, they travel backwards. So this is the very first of the eclipses that is actually on the Taurus Scorpio axis, but I will get into that. And we have really a once in a lifetime conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune, which I really look forward to. There are also a lot of shadow signs, but I'll explain to that in a moment. Let me make sure I have my notes here because I do remember a lot, but not everything. So let me just pull up all the notes so I don't forget anything. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start the month off with the Aries new moon, which is actually today. It's the very first moon of the astrological year, the very first new moon. And it's a really potent and strong and energetic moon. So this is a beautiful moment to sit down with your notebook, make intentions that create some bravery, some courage. And if there are things that you're not sure about, this is really the moment to put that into action, to claim that, because this moon is also all about action. And even if you don't see the whole road yet, you'll be able to see the action slowly start to show up, because we still have quite a lot of planets, or quite a lot. We have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, so that Piscean energy is still present. The dreaming, the visioning, the artistry, and add the Aries energy to that, and that will help you to start really realizing those visions. Let me just get to the right page. And this is also why I'm just doing this in the moment. I do like to plan everything and get everything like really dialed in. And this is real life. I've been caring for at least one sick child or husband for the past 5 weeks. So this is me. But I still want to give you the insights of April. We have Venus moving into Pisces. That happens on April 5th. And that creates more compassion, more understanding, more softness. But it also creates, it puts this layer on our finances. And we're not able to really see things clearly because the Piscean energy is very slow, very soft, very smooth, and doesn't really like to deal with reality. So be mindful about that. And that's something that I don't want you to stop. So if you have to make big investments or there are big decisions that you have to make, understand that this energy is here to help you dream the big things, understand things on a different level, and then you consciously have to activate your rational mind to say, okay, so now I'm going to take a look at this. I see everything that happened. I put all of the the details and facts in a row, and then I will make my decision. Because from the Venus in Pisces energy, it's like, oh, I feel this, I want to go. There's this gut feeling, but I also want you to take a moment and to have a good look at what is actually going on and what the facts are. Because that's something that Venus in Pisces doesn't really do much. Now on April 12th, we have Jupiter conjunct Neptune. And this really is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not the conjunction itself, because Jupiter and Neptune come together roughly every 13 years, because Jupiter moves quite fast. But what is unique is the fact that they are coming together in Pisces. Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. So before they discovered Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, Jupiter was the ruling planet of Pisces. So it's really so potent when those two planets are in their ruling sign coming together. So they're co-rulers of Pisces. Because these planets move slow, I mentioned it happens on April 12th, but we really feel it the whole week, if not the whole month. So everything that what Jupiter does is it magnifies everything it comes close to. Everything. So when we have the Piscean energy and the Neptunian energy, which is the daydreaming, the creativity, the artistry, the visioning, that gets magnified, as well as the shadow sides of Neptune. And this is something that unfortunately a lot of people are really focusing on, and I do want to acknowledge it, and I want to encourage you to let Jupiter magnify those aspects of Pisces. Because when we look at the shadow side, which is ignoring reality, not seeing things for what they truly are, numbing out because things are too intense and not wanting to deal with it, which is very dangerous in the political climate that we're in right now. I'm not going to deny that. But I want you to take conscious decisions, acknowledging that beautiful, expansive Pisces energy, and seeing where you are hiding from the truth. Where do you need a more realistic view? That is something that I want you to focus on, especially in that week. So the conjunction happens on a Tuesday, so that whole week, make sure that you tune into that and feel into that, because it's very important to do so. We also have that same week on April 15th, we have Mars going into Pisces. And it's a little bit different than when Venus goes into Pisces. Because when Mars goes into Pisces, it gets this intuitive action, where this beautiful intuitive hits actually get moved into action, because Mars is all about action. This is also a beautiful moment to use your power and your action to help other people. But keep coming back to what you want, because Pisces looks after everyone and sometimes forgets what you want. So make sure that you keep coming back to that. On April 16th, we have the full moon at 26 degrees Libra. And this is a moment to let go of patterns of pleasing others, as well as having that opposition between me and them, me and we. They coexist. And the more that you can find a balance where you can coexist the me and the we, and bring that together, because Aries, so the sun is still in Aries, is very much me. Everything revolves around me. I care about me, which is good sometimes. And Libra is all about us, we. How can I come together? So when we have a full moon, we're exploring that opposition. We're exploring that, what do I want and what do I want for us? That's in relationships, romantic relationships, business relationships. So play with that and see where it lands for you. And then we're in the mid of the month. We have a lot of aspects happening on April 18th. I'm not going to go into all of that, but Mercury is doing a lot of things to Venus, and then we have the Sun, Pluto, Uranus. That week is very packed with some interesting aspects. And if you want to know more about this, please sign up for my private podcast, The Cosmic Confirmation, where at the beginning of the week, you get a full write-up and a podcast on what is happening that week. And there are a lot of things moving and shifting in April. So you want to get onto that and listen about what the forecast is for each and every week. You also get monthly Q&As. And I just announced another bonus that every month I will be teaching a different masterclass. This month, in the month of April, I will be hosting a Mercury retrograde masterclass, because I believe that we can use this to fuel and power our business even more when we go into reflective mode. So that is something that you will also get if you sign up for the private podcast. You can find the link below, or you can go to patriciapanasi.com/cosmic. And let me just take a sip of my tea now. Okay, that same week, on April 20th, we have the Sun moving into Taurus. So from the fire, from the enthusiasm, from that childlike enthusiasm and passion, we go to reliable, stable Taurus, which we need, because if that fire lasts too long, the Aries fire, we would never actually get to the practical side of things. So Taurus will help us to bring out that practical side of things. And I think it's a beautiful balance. And that's why I think the cosmos is so beautifully set up to support us. And then we close the month off with Pluto going into retrograde. Remember, I mentioned, I mentioned that on the podcast, but we had the new moon in Aries, which is the last new moon with all the planets going direct. Because on April 29, we have Pluto going into retrograde in Capricorn. This will be also the last retrograde in Capricorn. And then, no, that's not true. Next year, it's going to do a short go into Capricorn. But it's really exploring shadows. And because Pluto is what we call an outer planet, it's more of a social planet, so we feel it more on a social level, where Pluto is going into the shadows, into the depths, revealing things. But when it goes retrograde, often those things get hidden because it's not in his full expression. So pay attention to that. Then on Saturday, April 30th, we have the new moon and solar eclipse at 10 degrees Taurus. And I mentioned this is the first time we have an eclipse on the Taurus Scorpio axis. Last year, the node wasn't yet in Taurus, it was still in Gemini. Now we have the nodes in Gemini and Taurus, in Taurus and in Scorpio. And this is the very first eclipse. Now, every time an eclipse shows up, unexpected things happen. We call them wild cards in astrology for a reason, because they can throw any curveball that you didn't see coming. Pair that with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that blurs reality, that puts a veil on how we experience things and can tend to make us numb out. And then when we have a eclipse, when the eclipse season starts, we are going to experience how we can choose to keep coming back to that practical, loyal sign of Taurus. And yes, we can expect some unexpected things, because we also have Uranus in Taurus. also radically shifting and changing things. So I'm excited about that one. And also I'm very curious how this is going to play out on a global level and see where this is going and how this is going to affect us. So I think April is going to be a month where we get to consciously keep choosing the Piscean energy, the Aries energy. Then we move into the Taurus energy, to reminding ourselves over and over again that we have a choice. And when I'm in conversation with my clients, one of the things that I hear the most is how much they appreciate getting the confirmation that this is what they're experiencing and how they can redirect the energy. And that is something that I also discussed in the Cosmic Confirmation podcast. I walk you through, hey, this is showing up. There are a few harder aspects that I didn't mention right now in this overview. Otherwise, we'll be talking for 1.5 hours. There are parts in this month that are more challenging. And if you know how to redirect the energy, not ignore it, not pushing it down, but redirecting it, you're able to move through it, usually with a bit more grace. I'm not going to say with a lot of grace, because sometimes these transitions are not really that pretty or beautiful or graceful, but it can be easier and it can be a little bit more graceful. So if you're not part of the Cosmic Confirmation yet, sign up, because it is really awesome to listen to how people are responding to it. And if you have seen my daily check-ins in the Facebook group or on Instagram, trust me, the Cosmic Confirmation goes so much deeper than that and really helps you to move through your week with more understanding and more confirmation. That's it for this month. I am really looking forward to this month. And me too. I hope you too, not me too. I hope you do too. And I am looking forward to hearing what you're looking for the most this month. If we have any Aries or Tauruses here, let me know. And I will be speaking to you again very soon. Bye-bye.